I'm Trevor Emdon, and I'm here to talk to you about NLP and NLP coaching. So, first of all, what is NLP? It stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and in case you've never heard of it, I'll explain that to you in just a moment. But first of all, let me just say a little bit about my background and why I'm here in front of the camera and why you should be listening to what I'm saying. I'm British and I'm a success coach, an NLP success coach, and that has a number of branches. So I'm sitting here in my home office in my beautiful home in rural southwestern England. It's a summer's evening. The light hopefully will stay good enough for the camera as I record this, and I can honestly say that my life is fabulous, and I owe a lot of that to my roots in NLP. Now, I learned NLP back in the 1980s, and it has changed every aspect of my life. Some of it has branched off into different directions, and I'll explain a bit about those as we go along. I have a few notes with me here, and actually I do have a glass of water which I'm just going to go and pick up. See, it's all very professional here. Okay, so, but mostly I'm going to explain this to you as I go along, because I think that freewheeling is better and will be more inspirational, as it were. I don't like reading from scripts. I know what I have to say. Okay, so NLP. Let's talk about a little bit about what it is and what is NLP coaching, and why. The fact that it's changed my life doesn't mean anything to you, so you need to understand what it can do for you and what in particular I believe I can do for you. Okay, so neuro-linguistic programming, roughly translated into understandable, comprehensible English, means the way we process our subjective world. So to give you a very simple example, if you slip on a banana skin, you might find that embarrassing, or you might find it amusing. Let's suppose you find it embarrassing. And as you pick yourself up, you say to yourself, do you know what, that felt terrible, but one day I'll probably look back on this and laugh. And in NLP, we would ask, well, why would you wait? If you know that you can replay an incident or an event in your head and see it as humorous when in the moment you saw it as embarrassing, why not do it now? Because you have, as each of us does, an incredible ability as a human being, and that ability is to choose your thoughts. To choose your thoughts, to choose how you think them. And as you choose how you think them, that will shape how you feel about them. How you feel. And as you change the way you feel, you will change what you do. That will influence your decisions. As you influence your decisions, and one decision, no matter how small, builds on another and another and another and another, that will shape your destiny. That's why NLP is so important. If you have control, if you have conscious awareness of what is going on inside your mind, and you are the one in the driving seat instead of your mind driving you, which is what it feels like to most people most of the time, is my belief and my experience, and was my own experience. Oh, I can't help it, I'm just in a bad mood, or I can't help it, I'm just the kind of person who ... you fill in the blank. Well, whenever you hear someone say, or catch yourself saying, I can't help it, stop, pause just for a moment, and check that. Because somebody else in exactly the same situation might react entirely differently from you. So it's not inevitable that one cause is always going to produce the same effect in every human being. We know that's not true. Some people laugh at slipping on banana skins and some people feel embarrassed. So when you start to make those processes conscious, you start to take control of your life. Now these days, I mean, I learned NLP and I got my diploma in NLP in 1988. I was lucky enough as well to actually spend some days in London in the 1980s with Richard Bandler himself. And if you don't know who he is, he's one of the two founders of NLP, Richard Bandler and John Grinder, who were Harvard professors at the time, or in the 1970s, early 1970s, when they first started researching it. It wasn't called NLP to begin with, I don't think. And the two of them have gone their separate ways since then. But you can Google both of them, or either of them, and you'll find they're both doing a lot of work, somewhat differently, but in NLP. And Richard Bandler is the more famous these days of the two, perhaps the more publicity-seeking of the pair. But whatever, he's a genius and taught me a great deal. Now I've gone on to other things since then as well, so I'm not a clone of Richard Bandler, and I'm sure he would be the first one and I would be the second to be horrified at such a prospect. And just so you know, in the 1990s I went to the United States and completed Tony Robbins Mastery University program over there, 1999-2000. And in case you don't know what that is or who he is, you can Google him too. Tony Robbins, Robbins, amazingly famous man who also started his training with Richard Bandler many years before I came across Tony himself, and has gone on to unbelievably incredible things. One of the most influential personal development trainers there's ever been, and is alive today and working today. So what NLP will do for you, and what NLP coaching is about showing you how you take control of your internal world so that you choose your thoughts. As you choose your thoughts, that changes the way you feel. As you change the way you feel, like if you change the way you feel about yourself inside, you might have more confidence, for example, to take a particular route, whereas previously you might have said, oh, I could never do that. People like me don't have that kind of courage or that kind of ability or whatever. Okay, so your feelings determine your actions. Now, let's go back a step or two, okay? Because when I was a little boy, my parents taught me quite wisely and out of love and concern for me, their first child, their firstborn son, that what I was supposed to do with life was first of all to work hard. I had to do stuff. Now, this may not have applied to you, but see if any of this resonates with your story. The kind of stuff I was instructed to do was, first of all, when I was very little, I suppose, but old enough to understand instructions, I understood that I had to learn a lot of rules and abide by them, and then I would be a good boy. And if I broke those rules, I'd be a bad boy or a naughty boy. Nothing very terrible happened to me about that, but I was aware that there was a line that if I crossed it, certain consequences which were in varying degrees unpleasant could happen, and if I stayed the right side of it, then I got none of those consequences, and very often positive rewards as well, treats and so on. Okay? So there was a line, and then as I got older, the stuff I had to do became more complex and maybe a bit more intense. So for example, excuse me, a sip of water here. So for example, I had to work hard in school and get good grades. And the older I got, the more difficult and complex the tests and examinations that I was put through became. So gradually things moved on, and then as I got into adolescence, I learned that as well as doing academic type things and pleasing elders and teachers, I also had to somehow learn how to take my place in a more grown-up society, and also learn how to manage my sexual drives and urges and my interest in girls without actually offending anyone.